it was really hard just canceling it and not having a plan. We were so excited, obviously, to get married and move in together and just start our lives together. Wait, can we take a pause?
Yeah.
I've never shared this.
Is this thing on? All right, you ready?
Yeah, but I don't know where to start.
Hey, babe. All right, cheers. Sing, let's tell our story. You ready? Hey, everybody. We're Donnie and Patty.
Hi.
We're a photo and video team based in Raleigh, and we are North Carolina. We have a very exciting announcement. We're starting a YouTube channel.
Yay!
Yay! We've been wanting to do this for a really long time, and it just has not come to fruition until now.
Yeah, so if you're watching this, we did it.
We finally did it. But we wanted to start our YouTube channel off just with our story and what we've been through and how we came to be Donnie and Patty. That's photography. We just wanted to talk about that and talk about how we got together and how we started our business together. So yeah, let's dive in. We met in 2012.
Yeah.
2012. Yeah, so my parents were missionaries. We both grew up in Christian households, and so my parents did mission work. Her parents did mission work. I'm from here. I'm from Garner, North Carolina.
I'm originally from El Salvador in Central America, but I grew up in Nicaragua, Central America, because my parents, my family, and I, we were missionaries in Nicaragua.
So the reason why I went to Nicaragua and why my parents were doing mission work down there was to do evangelism, and we were going to go work with an organization in Nicaragua, a church down there, and go into the neighborhoods and share the gospel with the people there. And so that was kind of the purpose of me and my family going to Nicaragua, and that's where I met Patty.
And basically his church here in North Carolina was partnering with my church in Nicaragua, and so the church that Donnie used to go here in North Carolina started doing mission trips to Nicaragua to work with like the church I was going to in Nicaragua, and the first mission trip they did there was in 2012, which was the mission trip we met in.
And Patty and I kept in touch many years after that, and I came back every year.
And we just like became really good friends. We would only see each other once a year for a week during the mission trip, and we were just really good friends. Then we would stay in touch on Instagram and Snapchat whenever we were apart, but like it wasn't really something until 2017.
But it didn't really like hit me that I had feelings for Patty until 2017 when I went on a mission trip. And I just remember like I just wanted to be around her all the time. Like I would just see her and she would just make me feel like fluttery, and I would just have these like, I don't know, butterflies in my stomach, and then I would just be very I don't know, like I just felt this electric energy between us, and it was really nice, and I wanted to always be around her. So pretty much the whole year after I went on that trip in 2017, Patty and I talked on Snapchat, on Instagram, we texted, and then we started FaceTiming a lot that year. So I was 17, she was 22? 20?
No.
Oh, no, 20.
I was 20.
Something like that. And yeah, so we just talked and we just got to know each other. We both had the same taste in music. We both loved the same things. We loved missions. We loved Jesus. We loved the Chainsmokers.
And I think what I really liked about like that year when we started talking after the mission trip in 2017 is that we really just started talking as friends. Like we became like really good friends before we even like started flirting or anything. I mean, we knew we were not gonna see each other for another year, so it was basically a whole year of just becoming really good friends.
And so yeah, so I was dying to get back to Nicaragua in 2018. So like I was counting down the days. Months before, I was just counting down the days to get to Nicaragua so I could see her and give her a hug and just like be with her for a week. And a couple days before I was supposed to leave to go to Nicaragua, my passport expired. So I was freaking out. Thankfully, my mom had a credit card and had racked up a bunch of miles. So we flew to Georgia, got my passport renewed, and I was able to go to Nicaragua, and yeah, I saw Patty. I remember seeing her at the airport when we got there, and the excitement was insane. I just gave her the biggest hug, and that was like one of the best moments of my life. One of the best weeks of my life, for sure.
Yeah, then that mission trip, that week in 2018 finally came.
So really what happened was I had seen her for a couple days, and I was ready to tell her that I had feelings for her. And so after a couple days, like obviously we were sitting next to each other a lot, being very close to each other. And then after church on Sunday, we went back to the hotel that I was staying at, and in the lobby, we sat down, and I pretty much just told her how I felt. I just told her that I really, really liked her. I loved being around her, and I had feelings for her that were deeper than just like being friends, and that I wanted to be more with her.
So I was not expecting that. I was like, in my mind, I thought like we were just gonna hang out, spend time together during the week, and see, like, I don't know what happened for some reason, but he just like told me that like the first or the second day, and I was like, well, this is great, because I felt the same way. I just didn't know how to go about it. So the fact that he was just like straightforward and told me the second day, I was like, this is great, because and I just told him that I felt the same way, and that
Yeah, so fast forward a little bit. So a couple months later, some really awful things happened in her country.
In 2018, Nicaraguans revolted. More than 700 were arrested, and at least 350 people were killed by police or paramilitary groups supported by the Nicaraguan government.
I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks after the mission trip. So he was there for a week, and then he had to fly back to the US, obviously. And then like 2 or 3 weeks after that, I was going to college in Nicaragua, and I just remember one night I had a midterm or something, and then the professor never showed up. And we were like, okay. And then we found out there was some like, how do you call it? Like
Protests.
Yeah, some protests happening outside of my college campus, and then it got really, really bad that night. And then the day after, there was a huge protest. It got so unsafe that I couldn't go back to like classes in person. They moved all classes online because we couldn't go back on campus. So it got really, really bad. I had to go back to El Salvador, which is where I was originally from. So I was living in El Salvador. Then we thankfully were able to plan a trip so that Donnie could come see me in El Salvador, and he did in the summer of 2018. That's where he asked me to be his girlfriend, and I said yes.
So during that trip to El Salvador, we went to the beach, and on the beach, I asked her to be my girlfriend for reals. So 2018.
July 5th, 2018, we started dating. I was still living in El Salvador. He was just visiting there. He was gonna come back to the US. I didn't know where I was gonna like continue like college, because even though like I dropped out from that university, I wanted to transfer. He came to El Salvador July of 2018. I could not go to college that second semester. Well, yeah, that semester. So I was like, just gonna go to the US, see Donnie, see my sister, because she lives here too. So I came to the US in September of 2018 just to spend a couple of months, since I was not in school in El Salvador anyway, so I just might as well come spend time together.
Yeah, we got to spend just time dating each other in the real life.
Yeah, we finally got to have like a normal dating
relationship.
Like, we could finally go on dates. It was really good, and I feel like that definitely took our relationship to the next level.
And so we did a lot of things to try to get Patty to come to school here. So like we tried to like apply to a school that was in like Chicago, just somewhere in the US.
Yeah.
We looked at like different places in North Carolina and stuff like that, but no doors were just opening, and there were just, moments that were really, really hard because we would apply somewhere and she wouldn't get accepted, or something would happen and it just didn't work, and it was really tough. So it was like the doors kept closing, but then finally, after a while, God opened the door for her to come to NC State.
Yeah.
Wolfpack. And that was like the biggest blessing.
Yes, that was one of the best things
Yeah.
that's ever happened to me and to us. I mean, being able, like, first to get accepted into NC State, into their engineering program, and then just it happening to be here in North Carolina, and near where Donnie was, and near where my sister was.
And just people around us that supported us, loved us, and blessed us to.
Yeah.
For her to be able to go to college there was just we're so thankful for that.
Then I got accepted, I got my visa, and then I came here in the fall of 2019 to like continue school.
Yeah, and then at that time I had graduated high school and I went to Liberty University in person.
Oh,
so we
yeah.
were long distance again.
Yeah, so when we finally thought long distance was gonna be over, like the week I came to the States, he
I
moved
left.
to Virginia.
Yeah, so that sucked.
Yeah, so we were doing long distance again.
Yeah, so fast forward, her parents came to spend the holidays here, and I asked her dad the question if I could marry her, and him and I had a very good, deep conversation, and at the end of the conversation, he gave me permission to ask her to marry me. So, in January of 2020, I asked Patty to marry me. Then we set a date. We were gonna do May 16th.
May 16th.
May 16th. We were gonna do May 16th, 2020, and then as you all know, COVID happened.
COVID happened, yep.
So it was just another brick wall.
Now to growing concerns about the deadly coronavirus officially hitting the U.S. Here's what we know. A Washington State resident fell ill after returning.
That was a very, very hard time.
Yes.
Not just because of COVID, but because it just felt like it was one wall after the next that was bombarding or not letting us be together.
Yeah, obviously we had to like cancel our wedding, like that was originally like for May 16th, because my parents couldn't fly here. Obviously we couldn't have like big gatherings or anything, and it was really hard just canceling it and not having a plan, like just not knowing what was gonna happen. I mean, we were so excited obviously to get married and move in together and just start our lives together. So that was really, really hard.
Figuring out like,
Wait, can we take a pause?
all right, we're back. We just needed to take a brief pause. Sometimes whenever you think about things and relive things and talk about things, it can kind of invoke a lot of emotion. So we just needed to take a second and clear our heads a little bit. So, but yeah, so pretty much starting back off, we ended up deciding to get married in June of 2020. We had Patty's siblings there because they are in the U.S. and my parents and my siblings were there, and yeah, so we just had a small wedding in a vineyard in Andrew, North Carolina, and it was a beautiful, beautiful ceremony. And I think what is tough about it was that Patty's parents weren't able to be there for our wedding. They were in El Salvador, and that was it's really tough, you know, to not have your parents at your wedding.
Yeah, and to not be able to do anything about it because, I mean, they weren't there because there were literally no flights, like from El Salvador to the U.S. because of COVID. So
It was such a happy time. It was such a joyful time, but also a hard and sorrowful time. It was very paradoxical because it was like we were so happy to be together finally. Like we had finally made it. And then just the state of the world at that time was so difficult, and I'm sure everybody, I mean, if you're watching and you had a COVID wedding, you know just all of everything that was going on at the time and how difficult it was. So
yeah, I think that was one of the hardest things because, I mean, from the time we canceled our May 16th wedding to the time we like decided to get married in June, We didn't know what was gonna happen, and I mean, I was going to bed like and just crying myself to sleep every night. I didn't know what was gonna happen. I didn't know when we were gonna get married. The wedding that we had planned was just canceled, and I mean, and that crushed me like big time. But also, like, I feel like paired with the guilt of me being so sad and upset about our wedding, when there were like worse things happening, like people were losing their jobs and people were dying, and I was just there crying because our wedding got canceled. Just felt kind of like weird, and like that just like crushed me. But yeah, and up until the day we got married, it was so hard because it was so like just hard. But I feel like once we got married, it just changed. Everything changed, I feel like.
Yeah. Because we were able to finally live the life that we wanted to live.
Like
together.
start living that life.
Like years and years in the making of like walls being like put up, we were finally able to be together. It was one of those things where there was a lot of awful things going on in the world, but like there was that, I don't know, just that joy too, and that peace, and just like that light that was in our life, and being together, and we were just so happy.
Yeah, I think just being together was the best.
Yeah.
It's the best.
It is the best. So fast forward, we got married, moved in together. I was working, she was in school, and in 2021, we ended up having a big wedding celebration.
Yes.
And her parents were able to come, some other people in her family that live in the United States were able to come, and we had a big, awesome wedding celebration with all of our friends and family. And I think that was like, after we had that, we were finally able to have closure.
Yeah, it was like the closure
That
I
would be
needed
good.
at least. Yeah.
Yeah. In 2020, when we got married, we started Bet's Photography and Films.
It was just Bet's Photography though.
It was just Bet's Photography then.
Yeah.
Sorry. No films yet. I was working at a church and learning all about video and production and all that good stuff. So, but yeah, so we started Bet's Photography, and we were doing couples, engagements, smaller like.
We were doing everything. Like we were doing couples, families, maternity.
Not weddings though, not yet.
Everything about weddings, yeah, I guess so.
We were too nervous.
Yeah, just like portrait sessions, basically. So I was the photographer, I am the photographer. But like Donnie would come on sessions with me, and like he would tell our clients how to pose, and I would just take the photos, and it was amazing because I didn't have to say anything.
Yeah.
But then we realized we were like a good team. Like, I mean, every session just. After leaving every session, I feel like we just felt energized. We just have such a great time with like our clients, and we would have a great time taking pictures and stuff like that. And we made a really good team, I feel like. And especially when we would like work with couples, and we would do like couple sessions or engagements, and like we would go together and shoot it. It was just very, very easy to relate to the couple because we are a couple. So we found that we could like relate to them, like just finding more things to talk about during the session and stuff like that. So that was a huge part on us like starting our photography business together.
I started like second shooting in 2021, just doing some weddings here and there, like second shooting and learning about the industry.
I mean, after working with a lot of couples, we were like, maybe like this is something that we could do. And our first wedding that we shot, it was actually like some friends of ours. They asked us if we wanted to like photograph their wedding, and this was in 2021.
Shout out to Michael and Joanna.
Yes. And we were like, we've never done this before, guys. Like, and they were like, I know, but we trust you guys. We like your work and everything, so we know you're gonna do good. We were like, okay.
Here we go.
And so we did it, and it was a great first wedding. It was an awesome wedding.
Amazing.
And we shot that wedding together, and we were like, I think we can do this. And like, because we really, really enjoyed it. And so that was the beginning of us shooting weddings.
Shooting weddings.
And in 2021, I second shot a bunch of weddings too. I had the opportunity to meet other amazing photographers that they let me second shoot for them. I was like going to school Monday to Friday, second shooting on the weekends, and just getting all the experience that we could basically. And then that led us to officially becoming a photo and video team in January of 2022.
We launched Bet's Photography and Films. We were still working our day jobs, and then shooting weddings on the weekends.
He had a full-time job, I had a full-time job, and then we were running our business at the same time.
And throughout that time, we ended up just picking up. Like
2022 was
a huge year
for us.
I was able to quit my job and my full-time job and go full-time into our business and start taking that over while Patty was still working full-time.
In October of 2022, I quit my full-time job in engineering to just do photography full-time and just run our business together, and here we are.
Here we are. So we're both full-time photo and video team, and we haven't looked back. We've enjoyed every second of it. We wanted to start this channel just to like show you a little bit of our life, a little sneak peek like into what we do and how we run our business as a photo and video team. We just want to give you content that you can use, that you can see and just see how we work together and things like that, but also just educational content, just to see how we run our business, and also like photography tips, video tips, things like that. We just want this channel to be a resource for you as other videographers and photographers, but also for clients, just to get a sneak peek into our life and just to see some of our work and things like that.
Let us know in the comments if there's anything that you would like to see from us, or even if you want us to go like deeper into any parts of our story, because we just realized our story is long, so we had to like kind of go through it quickly. But if there's any parts that you want us to go deeper into, or any other things that you want to see from us, just let us know in the comments.
So thank you so much for watching this video. Again, we're Donnie and Patty, and we love what we do. And if you got something out of this video, it would mean a lot if you would just subscribe, comment, and share this video with a friend. So thank you so much for watching, and check out some of our other videos that are available right now that you can watch. We just posted some mini vlogs, so please go and check those out. And awesome. Take it easy, guys. See you in the next video.
Bye.
Bye.